There moves continually a genuine love for you. It bypasses all of your hate, all your indifference, and gets through to you at your center. You are powerless to do anything about it. You may keep alive in devious ways the fires of your bitter heart, but they cannot get through to me. Underneath the surface of all the tension, something else is at work. It is utterly impossible for you to keep another from loving you.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada. My name is Chris Pecars, and my pronoun are he, his, him. I am about 5'10" tall, with brownish blonde hair, full beard with a little salt. I wear glasses, and today I am wearing one of my favorite Hawaiian shirts made by Sig Zane, a native Hawaiian designer, and tan trousers. Whether you arrived here by foot, bicycle, motor transport, marathon evasion, or the magics of physics and electrons, your presence here is a blessing and a gift. Thank you for joining us today. We are nestled in the beautiful Truckee Meadows within the traditional ancestral territories and homelands of the Washute, Paiute, and Shoshone peoples. Consistent with our values of community and inclusion, we have a responsibility to acknowledge, honor, and make visible the original stewards of the land around us, people who continue to share these spaces where we live, work, and gather. We strive to treat this place with the same respect as those who walked here before us, and to pass it onward to future generations with reverence and humility. Unitarian Universalism is a faith not of dogma but of covenant, the promises we hold together. Our faith is centered on love, supported by the values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. We strive to live our lives honoring these values, and past Unitarian Universalists have fought against slavery and genocide, supported suffrage, civil rights, gender rights, marriage equality, immigration justice, and on and on. We resist the bad, support the good, and actively work to create a world where all humanity stands united and together, free from prejudice and bias. We are uniters, not dividers, and our work is more important now than ever before amid the divisiveness that surrounds us. If you are new here, know that you have found a community of support and love that sees you and honors you as your true, authentic self. Should you choose to become a member of our fellowship, we will faithfully stand beside you and help you to live a life full of meaning and purpose. If you would like to learn more about joining the Unitarian Universalist Society Fellowship of Northern Nevada, please talk to me, one of our greeters, or visit our website at UUFNN.org. Thank you again for joining us today.
May this body be I invite you to take a deep breath, or simply the breath you need to take today. And in the space created by your breath, I invite you to receive these words by June Jordan in a poem titled, "It's Hard to Keep a Clean Shirt Clean."
It's a sunlit morning with jasmine blooming easily and a drove of robin redbreasts diving into the ivy covering what used to be a backyard fence, or doves shoving aside the birch tree leaves, when a young man walks among the flowers to my doorway, where he knocks, then stands still, brilliant in a clean white shirt.
He lifts a soft fist to that door and knocks again.
He's come to say this was or that was not, and what's any one of us to do about what's done, what's past, but prickling salt to sting our eyes.
What's any one of us to do about what's done?
And 7-month-old Bingo puppy leaps and hits that clean white shirt with muddy paw prints here and here and there.
And what's any one of us to do about what's done? I say, I'll wash the shirt. No problem. 2 times through. The delicate blue cycle of an old machine, the shirt spins in the soapy suds and spins in rinse and spins out dry.
Not clean.
Still marked by accidents, by energy of whatever serious or trifling cause, the shirt stays dirty from that puppy's paws.
I take that fine white shirt from India, the threads as soft as baby fingers weaving them together, and I wash that shirt between the knuckles of my own 2 hands. I scrub and rub that shirt to take the dirty markings out.
At the pocket and around the shoulder seam, and on both sleeves, the dirt, the paw prints tantalize my soap, my water, my sweat, equity invested in the restoration of a clean white shirt.
And on the 11th try, I see no more, no anything unfortunate, no dirt.
I hold the limp fine cloth between the faucet stream of water, as transparent as a wish the moon stayed out all day.
How small it has become, that clean white shirt. How delicate, how slight, how like a soft fist knocking on my door. And now I hang the shirt to dry as slowly as it needs, the air to work its way with everything.
It's clean, a clean white shirt. Nobody wanted to spoil or soil that shirt.
Much cleaner now, but also not the same as the first before that shirt got hit, got hurt, not perfect anymore, just beautiful.
A clean white shirt.
It's hard to keep a clean shirt clean. Nearly 20 years ago, an exhibit in Michigan unknowingly took the evangelical Christian world by storm. It was an art exhibit exploring the concept of peace, put on by a megachurch. On one of the pieces of art, there was a quotation by Gandhi, someone who many in the world would name when they think of peace. Rob Bell, the pastor of the megachurch that had curated this exhibit, was perusing the art when he came across a post-it that had been stuck on the Gandhi art by a visitor. It said, "Reality check, he's in hell." And as he recalled later, Pastor Bell remembers thinking, really? Gandhi's in hell? Without a doubt? This post-it and the questions it raised led Pastor Bell to publish a book that shook the evangelical world. And it got Pastor Bell accused of being a heretic. Because Bell questioned the premise that despite living a life committed to peace, Gandhi would spend eternity in hell because, as a Hindu, he never accepted Jesus. In his book, Pastor Bell asked, "Is this the sacred calling of Christians? To announce that there is no hope? Will everybody be saved, or will some perish apart from God forever because of their choices?" In his book, Pastor Bell left his questions unresolved. And the void in definitive answers led people to believe that he might, blasphemy, be suggesting the possibility of universalism. That all might be saved. Our universalist ancestors in the United States came to similar conclusions hundreds of years earlier, building on centuries of others who had wrestled with the concept of hell. Our universalist elders couldn't find any evidence of hell in the Bible, and so they preached that an all-loving God simply wouldn't send anyone to a fate of fire, even if they were sinners or non-believers. The early universalists weren't quite sure how it worked. Maybe you go to hell for a bit to atone, or maybe there actually isn't even a hell at all. But ultimately they agreed that all souls were saved. This heretical belief opened a whole world of questions, including, importantly, why bother being good if you're going to be saved anyway? Why bother being good? Why bother washing the shirt? Several years ago, at our annual Unitarian Universalist General Assembly, we voted to adapt our principles, the words that we use to describe what holds us together. And we reframed them as a set of easily definable values. Now, I was hoping that you would have an order of service where you could look at the image, but hopefully some of you have it in your brain. The image of our new values is striking. The picture, which some depict as a flower, has our values in petals around the outside of it. And in the middle is love. Now, this image of our new values is striking because of how it centers love. Despite being known for decades as the love people, the word love was actually nowhere to be found in our original principles. In the refreshed values, the concept of love is placed right at the center, as if none of our values can be achieved without love. And you might argue that our values or principles are a definition of love in and of themselves. But to claim love as central to who we are is a bold statement in these times of collapse. Other religions claim love as well, of course. We're not alone. But many still draw distinctions between who's included and who's not, both in this life and in the next. A love that is universal and not about some being saved and others not continues to be controversial, heretical. And even Unitarian Universalists struggle with it. We know, for instance, that we don't necessarily care if you have the right papers for crossing an arbitrary border, to believe that you should be treated with compassion and respect. But that love gets trickier when we think about people in positions of power, for example, who perpetuate harm. It's trickier, right? To offer that same love, to center love. It's hard to keep a clean shirt clean. We love and we love and we love this hurting world and wonder if it can ever possibly be enough. And we get called out on not loving perfectly every time. And even today, we are called heretics, but with different words. Our Unitarian and Universalist ancestors were burned at the stake for the blasphemy of a universal love. Today, we are called soft or weak, or even told that it is treasonous to bring love to the conversation. Why are we compelled to clean the shirt? The kind of love that we are asked to center is not a commodified love where we only give it if we get something in return. It's closer to an unconditional love, which, let's be real, does not fill your heart with giddy butterflies. It isn't a romantic version of love that is tit for tat. Instead, we practice loving even when it's not reciprocal. Perhaps the uncertainty that many of us have about hell or heaven or what happens after we're done in this form is precisely why we center love. Because we don't know what's next. And so we want to make it count now. Here. We want to love the hell out of the world now, as UU minister Reverend Joanna Fontaine Crawford says. Universalist love is a faith in existence, that life is worthy of loving regardless. Love has been defined in a million different ways. But as we think of covenanting through collapse, what we might bring to this moment in time, what we as Unitarian Universalists offer in this time of collapse, I like this definition of love. We have only the world that we bring forth with others, and only love helps us to bring it forth. May it be so.
When I first started at UUFNN, August of 2022, we organized a dual Sunday service where Reverend Karen, the minister who hired me, led a service here in the fellowship hall while we had a camping trip down at Davis Creek, and I was in charge of leading the service down at the campground. And when I got back up to Reno to drop some stuff off at my office, Reverend Karen pulled me aside and she goes, "I need you to go watch the YouTube video of this Sunday." And I was like, she's like, "It was magical. It was amazing." And I was like, "Okay, great. I'll do that." And I kind of didn't think anything of it. And a few days later, I was like, "Okay, I have some time. I'll sit down and watch." That Sunday service, Reverend Karen put a microphone in the middle of our fellowship hall and invited members of our community to offer feedback, I would say testimony, as to what this community has offered them, taught them, guided them. And Billy Lee Dunford Jackson's late husband, Stan, got up and shared with the room that all he's learned from this community is love. He shared his stories about being an atheist in the South, and it wasn't until finding community here with all of you that he came to realize at the heart of everything is love. This is 2 years before the UUA officially made Love at the Center our slogan. And I think about this community and how every Sunday we come together to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. That love has been present in this place long before our Unitarian Universalist leadership caught up to our ancestors. And when we talk about love at the center, like Reverend Kristen said, we're not talking about the butterflies. We're not talking about that giddy feeling, that anticipation. It's not the emotional and fantastical love. Though there are days where that sweetness shows up to greet us and we say thank you. The love we talk about, I often see most evident in the words of the Black feminist philosopher and Buddhist Bell Hooks when she wrote, "Genuine love is rarely an emotional space where needs are instantly gratified. To know love, we have to invest time and commitment. To dream that love will save us, solve all our problems, or provide a steady state of bliss or security only keeps us stuck in a wishful fantasy that undermines the real power of love, which is to transform us." In 2023, when the UUA announced that they're going to be shifting the language of the principles to the language of values and that love will be at the center, I, in all honesty, was caught off guard. I was caught off guard by the lack of definitions. When you go into the language of the values, all of our 6 values, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, have a quippy definition that gets at the heart of what that value is supposed to teach us, and there is no quippy definition of love offered to us by our tradition. And as someone who loves words, to be met with a word of so much abundant definition that we chose not to define it, I was kind of angry. Are we talking, how are we talking about that word? Are we taking a page out of Western thought? Are we talking about eros and philos and agape? Is this the evangelical Jesus loves you kind of love? Is this the God is love that doesn't help us understand how we're supposed to be in this world? Is it the high academic process theology? Is it that love that is perfect with no end, that all the universe is being pulled and processing into a perfect love? Or is this love like June Jordan's clean shirt? A love that we get messy, a love that we wash and wash again and again because it is hard to keep a clean shirt clean? Is it the love found in the mess of interpersonal relationships of care? I understand now why Unitarian Universalists didn't define love. But I turn to the definitions that guide me. Bell Hooks defines love as a combination of care, commitment, knowledge, responsibility, respect, and trust. I'm going to say that again. Love is a combination of care, commitment, knowledge, responsibility, respect, and trust. As we gather today, you might be wondering, Nathan, why are there bowls in front of you, and what does that have to do about love? And Reverend Kristen and I were trying to figure out a way to invite our community to lean into the love at the heart of this place, which is actually the actions and commitment of all of you. We are a community of people who show up to this place and show up to each other again and again and again, putting into practice love in all of its combinations. So what we are about to do is I'm going to invite you to come forward. Similar, think water communion, think flower communion, think standing in a line pensively. And you'll see on this table, there is a bowl of safety pins and a bowl of ribbon fragments. Each ribbon color represents a different way that you show up to this place. We all show up differently. Some of you are like, this is my first Sunday here. I just showed up. But guess what? There's a color for you. I invite you to come forward and take a safety pin and take one piece of ribbon from the bowls that reflect your commitment to this place. And I offered some defining parameters if the language is a little vague, but I trust you to accurately choose the colors that speak to your lived experience. I'm not going to police who took what. But I want you to take that safety pin, take your colors, and when you get back to your seat, I want to invite you to arrange the colors on the safety pin and pin it to your name tag, to your shirt, some way to create an outward expression of all that you offer back to this place. Think about the ways you show up in love, in that combination of care, commitment, knowledge, responsibility, respect, and trust. And once we've all adorned ourselves with our little ribbons, Reverend Kristen will guide us in our next step. So please come forward.
Thank you all. A few months ago, during a sermon, I made a rough estimate of the amount of time that you all dedicate to this community. It came to 519 hours per month. And it was a very rough estimate based on the amount of groups and justice efforts and planning meetings and services and more that you all give your heart to. And that translates to over 6,000 hours per year. And my guess is that that is actually low. Yes, go ahead. Just look around you at all the different colors, the rainbow, beautiful representation of how much love that you pour into this community. Just take a look around. That is how much love you give to our values, that you show how you outpour your love. And some of you are so mind-bogglingly generous with your wisdom and resources and time. It is just absurdly generous. Your presence and care is so ubiquitous that sometimes we forget that it's happening. So we want to take this moment today to really sink into it. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, or even to just kind of glance slowly around the room at all the people. And let the reality of what it takes to help move a congregation sink in. Let yourself feel the warmth that comes from gratitude, from knowing that we are each contributing to building a community that lives its values. A community that is facing this current moment, the scary moments that we are living in, with courage and intention. Just soak that in. Let yourself bask in the glow of what it feels like for you to say yes to this community and to remember your why. Let yourself feel that deeper why. We said you don't get giddy feelings very often, but there is a giddy, joyful warmth, hopefully on all of your hearts this morning. And I invite you to just turn to your neighbor for one small moment and thank them. Thank them for their generosity. It does not matter if this is their first time today. You all showed up today. And I want to invite our treasurer, Philip, forward. Philip, in addition to being your treasurer, has served this year as your stewardship chair. And yes, please. And we're not naming many names today, but we can name Philip for all the millions of ways that he shows up. And we do also want to specifically recognize one very special person in our community today by name. This is a person who helped found this congregation and who has played numerous important leadership roles. Betty Hulse is sitting right here in the front. If you want to wave your hand, or those of you next to Betty.
As your treasurer, I have a special honor to bestow on Betty today. I've worked with you so long, Betty. For all of the committee member meetings you've attended, for all the fundraisers that you have helped with, for every single dollar you have counted after service. I'm here today to bestow on you the title of Finance Committee Member Emeritus. With the privilege of never having to attend meetings again, and the rights of always welcoming your opinion. On behalf of the Finance Committee, we are grateful to you, Betty. Thank you.
UUFNN is an entirely self-supported and self-funded organization, and so we turn to you to share your bounty and help us to sustain our mission and values. Every month, we also give a portion of our offerings to our Share the Plate recipient, reflecting our commitment to support good works beyond these walls and into our larger community. Our Share the Plate partner for May is Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity works to ensure that everyone in the Truckee Meadows has a safe, secure, affordable place to live. Literally, they build a better future, homes that give people the space and stability they need to be healthy, resilient, and free to live the lives they choose. And when people thrive as individuals, we all thrive as a community. There are a multitude of ways to share your generosity. Please see the screen behind me to see your giving options, which are also visible to those on the internet streaming sessions. And now let the offering begin. And now, please join myself and Nancy in blessing our offerings. Wait, one more, okay. We want to make sure we bless them all. To the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. As usual, there are a lot of happenings around UUFNN, and one of my favorites is happening right after this service. We have cake in the gathering room to honor Betty Hulse. So please join us in sweets and the treat of her lovely presence. And now I'd like to invite Katie Baker forward for another important activity here and about.
By the way, I'm already working on that marathon to be an event for us next year, just so you know. Okay. So I'm Katie, I'm your event coordinator, and y'all have been asking, you've been begging for concerts and special events open to the public. We've got them, okay? I've got 2 concerts coming up. One on May 31st with the Reno Tahoe Philharmonic will be here. All right, and we get discount coupons, or get discount tickets, so I'll get you the link to that in our e-news. Watch for that this week, okay? Number 2, and very, very, very important because they're awesome, and you guys have been begging, okay? Emma's Revolution is coming here June 6th, yes! All right, so I will be outside the door on their website for everybody at home and whatever. emmasrevolution.com, go to the concert section and hit our date. So just make sure that you're on the right date for that. It's $25 in advance, $30 at the door. And I will be also getting you connected online over here. Next week I will have printed tickets. We didn't have a printer working properly this week, so I will have printed tickets for you next week if you want to use checkbooks. But email me at events@uufnn.com if you have any questions. And let's do this. Let's sell them out, okay?
And finally, I'd like to invite Kevin Murphy up to talk about our new rap group. Kevin, come bust a rhyme.
Well, in January, Reverend Kristen gathered us here to consider how each of us might covenant through the collapse in which we find ourselves living today. And in response, a legislative advocacy group formed here at UUFNN, calling itself the Rights and Policy Working Group, or RAP. Just imagine Bill Isaiah as a rapper. Its mission is to identify legislation dedicated to protecting democracy and constitutional rights and advocating for it. The group includes Billy Lee Dunford Jackson, Bill Isaiah, Chris Hyland, Nancy Ann Leader, Leah Cartwright, and one outsider, Kevin Murphy. Valerie Cook also assisted in the initial formation of the group. From a growing list of 20 legislative issues, it offers each of you an opportunity to advocate for one of these each month, providing you in the newsletter the phone numbers and addresses of appropriate legislators, brief background on the issue, and suggested concise wording, so that you can stand against autocracy with one quick, simple task every month. This is one more way you can covenant through collapse. For more information, see the newsletter, and please sign up with your email address at the back of the hall at the end of this service, so we can gauge our level of support and also keep in touch. There's also going to be a handout beside the sign-up sheets about our very first initiative, the Bivens Act. Thank you.
What a list of heavy hitters, huh? Now, please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us, and then remain standing for our spoken benediction. Thank you.
To join hands or softly place your hands over your heart. We are a community guided by love. And through that love, we come together to create peace, justice, liberation, joy, and all while trying to keep our clean shirts clean. While our worship has ended, our service is just beginning. Go with love. Amen, and blessed be.